Hello and welcome back to the second probability video. In this video, we are going to look at how to calculate the probability of an event occurring. So we're going to learn the steps involved in calculating the probability and also be able to demonstrate our understanding of probability by using the formulas we've learnt to calculate the probability of a given event. So let's look at the formulas involved in calculating probability. So the probability of an event occurring, so for example, the probability of rolling an even number on a dice equals the number of favourable outcomes, so how many even numbers there are on a dice, over the total number of outcomes. So if we're looking at a standard die, we've got 3 even numbers out of a possible 6, so we get a half or 50% chance of obtaining an even number. So let's do an example here. You could pause and do this one yourself, but find the probability of rolling a die and obtaining a number less than 4. So it's important. The less than is important. So we're going to have the probability, and if we're looking at less than, we're not including 4. So we're going to have the numbers 1, 2, or 3. So again, the probability of an event occurring equals the number of favourable outcomes over the total number of outcomes. And so in this case, the probability of 1, 2, or 3, and we're writing what our event is here, equals 3 over 6, or 1/2. Again, I want you to pause it and write the probability of this, of finding the probability of flipping the top card of a standard deck of cards and obtaining the number 4. So pausing it. Okay, so what you might have got is the probability of our event, which is our 4 equals, well, there's 4 number 4s in our deck of cards, and we have in a standard deck of cards 52, because in a standard deck we don't include the jokers as being a card, we just say that we have 52 cards. And so we get that down to 1 in 13. And we know that's correct because there's 1 4 in every suit, there's 4 suits, and there's 13 cards in each suit. Okay, so now we're going to look at complementary events. So what does that mean? Well, events that are opposite to one another are complementary events, and their probabilities add up to 100. So we work that out as the probability of getting A plus the probability of getting not A equals 1. And A is referring to any sort of event, and we'll do an example in a minute. Another way we can write this is probability of A plus probability of A with our little comma, which means not A, equals 1. So you have a bag which holds 3 yellow marbles, 4 red marbles, and 7 blue marbles. What is the probability of choosing a red marble? Okay, so we're going to use our probability of the event. So our probability of getting a red equals 4, because we've got 4 red out of 14, because all up there's 14 marbles. So our probability is 4 in 14, or 2/7. What is the probability of choosing a marble that isn't red? Okay, so in this case, we've got our 3 plus 7 over 14, because 3 yellow and 7 blue are our not red marbles. So our probability is 10 over 14, so therefore our probability is 5 over 7. Now if we go over here, what is the probability of choosing a red or not red? So our probability of getting a red was 2 out of 7, and our probability of not getting a non-red was 5 out of 7. So 2 out of 7 plus 5 over 7 equals 7/7, which then equals 1. So we can see here that the probability of getting a red or a non-red is 1, because that's the probability of getting any marble that we pull out. Hope that makes sense, guys. Again, you can leave your comments below, or you can ask a teacher for some help.